Hello everybody, I have a new journal to share with you today. This one's actually a paper bag journal. I haven't made one for such a long time, and I just came across a paper bag when I was putting things away the other day, and I thought, I think I'm going to make that into a journal, and that's what I've done. The cover is actually, it is a paper bag, but I've covered it in some Craft paper. I love this design on the Craft paper. It's neutral, but it's lovely. So that's the back and that's the front. It's held together with this beautiful mesh fabric and some sari silk that I've just stitched together on the machine, and it just wraps around like that. I love this beautiful applique. It's a vintage applique piece. Michelle sent that to me quite a few years ago now. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a little bit dimensional. It's stuffed inside. You can actually see the stuffing inside, but I've left it in. Whoever gets it, they can either leave it in or take it out. It's probably was more puffy when it was first made, I'm thinking. I've layered some beautiful laces and trims on some book paper. Bit of doily and some gorgeous, really old trim there as well. I've left some threads, not too long. Cut them off if you like. So that's the cover there. The journal actually measures 4 3/4 by 7 3/4 inches and has approximately 72 pages with 2 signatures. So because it's a paper bag journal, we have a pocket with an envelope made out of calligraphy practice paper and some off-cut doily there. I've stamped a flower and used that as like a seal, I guess you could say. Stitched all around the envelope. And inside here, I just have a few leftover bits. I've got a bit of mesh fabric there cut into a strip that was left over, some stamped images that I didn't end up using, and some stickers as well. Oh, and the end piece of the calligraphy practice paper. So they are going into that envelope, and they can be used however you like as collage material or just to decorate pages and things like that. There we go. And I'll pop that back in there. Oops. So that tucks in there, and then we have a large pocket at the top here. I've used some vintage music, the music paper cover sheet to make a large tag. All the tags are stitched around, they're lined and stamped as well. I have a washi sticker there and just a stamped image. Lots of tags in this journal here. We have this music paper tag in that pocket and stamping on the pages and some stenciling as well. I've made some little envelopes out of it's some wrapping paper that I was sent quite a long time ago now, and I've just put a vintage flower in there and another little daisy flower as well that can be used in the journal. Text in there, and they're I think they're the Gibson Girl images on that paper. So that just sits in there. Just a little tag on the next page. Just scrap papers from my last project. I just made little skinny tags for those. Mother of pearl button. That's not a tuck spot. It's just for decoration. Lovely edge of doilies on the page there as well, and some washi tape, more stenciling, little linen tab at the top there, another tuck spot with a washi image on the front of that and some scrap lace, more of the lovely calligraphy practice paper there, and some sari silk and flowers, washi tape, little cluster, some of that lace, just an edge piece off a garment. Another tag made from folk art pattern paper, just a remnant of a bit of doily on there. Some die cuts. A lovely piece of doily that's been, it was a hole, I think it was a hole. I think I was going to use it on a different project, and I cut a flower out and then I patched on this side a piece of fabric over it, and I didn't end up using it, so I put it in here. A little bit of stamping, just a old scrap of lace, some more vintage buttons, another tag there. Sari silk bow, little pocket here held with one of the little clips, and just a couple more tags, more die cuts, and some beautiful vintage lace. That was from Zephy, I think many years ago now. It's beautiful, from Greece, and that's the back of the tags. A little cluster. There's the center of the first signature. I've left the threads long and tied a bow. A little bit of tulle. Another tag here. Lovely old piece of, I think that might be coffee stained doily, quite a long time ago. A bit of doily there. Another tag made with this beautiful trim that came off a skirt, that trim that I bought at the thrift store. It was a vintage skirt, and that was the overlay over the skirt. It was very pretty. Just another skinny tag in that pocket there. That could be a tuck spot if you wanted it to be. The journal's quite thick as it is now, so I didn't put any more in. Just more stamping and die cuts. The other side of that lovely doily. Another tuck spot with the folk art paper there, and a doily. Die cutting. A hydrangea flower there. And a vintage button. Another garment, another bit of fabric off an old garment. I think that was a shirt. Very pretty fabric. Some more stamping, the other side of that lace, and some daisy flowers. Another bit of garment there. You could hang charms off that if you wanted to. Another lovely tag here with stamping and a doily piece. Another cluster and vintage button. And two more tags here. And this gorgeous lace. This lace it's vintage, very old vintage. It's just so delicate and beautiful. I was looking through one of my drawers and came across it the other day. I thought, yes, we'll use some of that. It's ever so pretty. I remember it used to be a favourite of mine. You have favourites and then you sort of use them a few times and then you move on to something else. So it was nice to rediscover that. Another piece of doily on that page there. Another little tag in here. It's an old flower I had sitting on my desk. I was for another project a long time ago and I didn't use it. It's just made out of the selvage edge of a piece of fabric. You can see the little holes in it, but I quite like that because it's all fluffy around the edges as well. And just a couple of bits here to use for collage work or just to journal on. Another cluster, another flower, just an edge piece, vintage button, a couple more tags there. And another little envelope I made. Oh, and this one has a lovely, it's a tattered flower. It's really lovely, an old one. It's made out of like a wool, I think it is. It's quite soft. And do remember, a lot of these things are aged. They do have marks on them. That's why people get rid of them in the first place, I think, a lot of the time. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. And that goes in there. Another tag here. A vintage lace there. Another piece of that buttonhole piece from a garment. Another tag. Nice washi sticker. It's a cotton plant collage. More of the folk art pattern paper, and just a lovely little tuck spot. Another tuck spot there if you wanted it to be. More die cutting. This was a lot of fun to put together, this one. I really have enjoyed this. I like the feel of it. I like just grabbing the bits when I find them and just putting it in here. Just scraps and things. I have just a couple of tool bows there. Washi and more stamping. A couple more tags in here. That's more of that lovely lace or trim from Zephy. That under the paper clip. That's some beautiful vintage lace there. Whoops. There we go. Another lovely tag. Piece of doily, some stamping. Another bit of doily there. Another tag with that gorgeous, that's the same print as on the cover. And some tulle ruffled up down the side. Is it tulle or mesh? It could be mesh from a garment. Lovely flip up using that beautiful skirt fabric. Another couple of tags. That's that gorgeous fine lace again. It's just so pretty. I love it ruffled up like that. Lovely. Another couple of tags. And the buttons. Another tag here. Another edge of a doily there, and this is the back page. We have the other side of the music cover for a large tag there to journal on. And then in the pocket at the back here, we have a writing board or resting board to do your writing and things like that, using that lovely packaging paper that I got from Rena van der Veen. She sent me some lovely gifts, and this was part of the packaging. There we go. And that was a few years ago now too. And it just pokes out the edge there, so you've got that lovely little mesh ruffle hanging out the side. And that is the lovely journal. I think it's ever so nice. I really do. I really enjoy making neutral ones, because you really can't go wrong with neutral ones, can you? Because everything goes together so nicely. And you can use all your scraps and things like that. I've made this wrap quite long. You can wrap it around twice, or you can wrap it around once. The beginning of the journal, I had it wrapped around once, and then I folded that and kind of tucked it under like that. So you can do that, or you can wrap it around twice like that, and then just, pop it underneath like that and have it hanging down the side if you like. however you want to do it. I quite like the first way, wrapping it around once, and then you can just tuck that under. Tuck it under twice if you like, just so it holds, and then let it off to the side, however your heart desires. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed seeing this journal. Like I said, I really enjoyed putting this one together, and I love the way it's you know, it feels and the way it looks, and the size is just ideal. Plenty of pages for journaling and things like that in. So this will be in my Etsy store if anybody's interested in purchasing it. I'll put a link to that in the description box below. And thank you so much for watching. Take care, everybody. Bye.